AITA for handing my wedding ring to my wife's backup husband in front of our families? My name is Edward. I am 32, and for the last 5 years, I thought I had a quiet, decent marriage with my wife, Lauren. I work as an operations manager for a regional logistics company. That basically means I spend my days fixing problems before anyone else notices they exist. At home, I was the same way. I paid the bills early, kept the pantry stocked, remembered oil changes, and picked up Lauren's favorite oat milk without being asked. I believed that being steady was the same thing as being loved back. Lauren used to joke that I was too calm to be real. I took it as a compliment. Looking back, I think she meant I was easy to underestimate. Lauren and I were never a flashy couple. We did not have matching outfits, expensive vacations, or those long, dramatic social media captions where people thank their spouse for being their soulmate and personal miracle. We had Sunday grocery runs, shared streaming passwords, quiet Friday nights, birthday dinners with our parents, and a rented townhouse in Portland with a narrow driveway and a back patio barely big enough for 2 chairs and a grill. I liked that. I liked predictable. I liked knowing the electric bill would clear on the 5th, that Lauren would leave half a mug of coffee on the kitchen island before work, and that we would argue mildly about what to order for dinner before picking Thai food anyway. I grew up around divorces that were loud enough to become neighborhood events. I promised myself early that when I got married, I would build something calm. For a long time, I thought I had. From the outside, our marriage looked solid. Her mother, Marcia, sent us cards that said things like she was proud of the life we were building. My coworkers knew Lauren as the wife who made great deviled eggs for potlucks. We did holidays with both families. We had a framed photo from Cannon Beach in the hallway where Lauren's hair was blowing across my face, and we were both laughing. We were not the couple people envied, but I thought we were the couple people trusted. The first changes were small enough that I felt petty noticing them. Lauren started going out more with her college friends, especially Maya. At first, it was 1 or 2 times a month, then every Thursday, then random Saturdays that were supposedly just drinks or a birthday thing or Maya having a weird week. Her phone, which used to live anywhere, started living face down. She changed her passcode and told me it was because a coworker had looked over her shoulder once. She started taking calls in the laundry room, which was strange because our laundry room was basically a closet with a washer that sounded like it was full of bricks. When I asked about it, I kept my voice level. "Is everything okay?" I asked one night when she came home at 12:47 a.m. and went straight to the shower. She paused with one hand on the bathroom door. "Why wouldn't it be? It is just late. You did not answer my text." My phone died. I was with Maya. "Okay." She stared at me like I had accused her of a serious offense. "I am allowed to have a life outside this house, Edward. I never said you weren't." That became the rhythm. I noticed something. I asked one calm question. She acted like my question was the problem. Trevor's name came back into our life around that time. I knew the basics. Trevor was Lauren's ex from before me, the one she had dated in her mid-20s. He had moved to Bend for a while, then Seattle, and then apparently back to Portland. The first time she mentioned him again, it was while scrolling through social media on the couch. "Oh wow," she said. "Trevor moved back." I looked up from my laptop. "Your ex, Trevor?" She laughed without looking at me. "Ancient history, Trevor. Do you talk to him?" "Not really." He commented on Maya's post. "Relax. He is not a threat. He is just Trevor." I wanted to believe that. I did believe it, mostly because the alternative made me feel like the kind of husband I never wanted to be. Suspicious, controlling, bitter. So I swallowed the little pinch in my chest and went back to answering work emails. Then came the first ring clue. Maya posted a story from a brewery on the east side. It was a blurry clip of 4 glasses clinking, people laughing, and Lauren's hand wrapped around a pint of dark beer. I almost tapped past it, but something stopped me. Her ring finger looked bare. I watched it 3 times. The video was only 7 seconds long. In the reflection of the brewery window behind them, Lauren was turned sideways, laughing at someone outside the frame. Her left hand was visible against the glass, and the ring was not. I asked her about it the next morning while she was unloading the dishwasher. "Were you not wearing your ring last night?" She shut the cabinet a little harder than necessary. "What?" Maya posted a video. "I saw your hand." Lauren rolled her eyes. "My hands were swollen. I took it off for like 10 minutes. You are being paranoid." "I am asking, not accusing." "No, You are doing that thing where you sound calm, so I look crazy if I react. That one landed. I remember standing by the sink with a wet coffee spoon in my hand, trying to decide whether defending myself would make it worse. I let it go. I let a lot of things go. A deleted call log I only saw because her phone lit up beside me before she grabbed it. A shared calendar event labeled M that disappeared after I asked if Maya was coming over. Lauren borrowing my wedding ring one Sunday morning because she had a cute anniversary photo idea involving both rings on a napkin next to coffee cups, then never posting the photo. A faint circular tan line on her finger in another picture where her ring was missing, though she swore it was just the lighting. By late April, my notes app had become a place I hated opening. I am not proud of that. I did not sneak into her phone. I did not follow her. I did not put trackers on anything. I just wrote down dates, times, what she said, what I saw, and what did not add up. My job trained me to document problems before they became disasters. I started doing it at home because home had started to feel like a warehouse schedule with missing shipments and everybody pretending the numbers still matched. Exactly 3 weeks before our anniversary party, I met with a divorce lawyer named David Chun. His office was downtown, above a dental clinic, with gray carpet and a receptionist who spoke softly like everyone there had a headache. I brought printed screenshots, my timeline, the receipt from when our rings had been resized after our second anniversary at a local jewelry shop, and 2 photos where Lauren's ring seemed to be missing. David did not act shocked. That was almost disappointing. He flipped through my papers and looked up. Do not confront her to get a confession. People lie when cornered. Evidence does not. I do not even know if anything physical happened, I said. Then do not claim what you cannot prove. Document what you can. Patterns matter. Witnesses matter. Messages matter. Receipts matter. He tapped the ring repair receipt. Keep this. The matching engraving and repair marks may matter if there are images of the rings or references to them. Small details become useful when they connect to other small details. So I just wait. You live your life. You do not threaten. You do not perform. If facts show up, let them do the work. Anger feels useful for about 10 minutes. Documentation stays useful. I left his office feeling both steadier and sadder. Part of me still hoped I was wrong. Then Lauren insisted on an anniversary party. I thought dinner would be enough. We usually did something simple, maybe a nice restaurant or a weekend at the coast if work was quiet. But Lauren wanted a room at a brewery restaurant with both families, her college friends, and a few of my coworkers. 5 years is a big deal, she said, standing at the kitchen island with her laptop open to the brewery's reservation page. We should celebrate us. Us? I asked before I could soften it. She looked up. What is that supposed to mean? Nothing. I am just tired. Her expression changed into the polished one she used around family. Can we just have one night where everything feels normal? I looked at the guest list on her screen. My parents, her mom, her stepdad, Maya, Lauren's college group, my friend Derek from work, and 2 other coworkers. No Trevor. That depends on what normal means now, I said. She closed the laptop. I am not fighting with you over a party. There was a payment request for the deposit. A group chat I was added to for logistics, though later I learned there was another one without me. Lauren handled most of the invitations. She said she wanted to take the stress off my plate. By then, I knew better than to argue with generosity that felt like a curtain. The brewery event room looked exactly like Lauren wanted it to look. It had exposed brick, string lights, long wooden tables, digital menus, pictures of local beer, and large charcuterie boards. A small chalkboard sign near the door said, "Happy 5 years, Edward and Lauren," in loopy white marker. When we walked in, people clapped. Lauren's mother hugged us both and immediately pulled out her phone. "Smile, sweetheart," Marcia said, angling the camera. "You two look perfect." Lauren leaned into me like a wife in a Christmas card. I smiled because that is what you do when someone's mother is taking a picture. Derek arrived 10 minutes later and gave me a quick one-arm hug. "Are you good?" he asked quietly. "Working on it." Derek was not the kind of friend who gave speeches. He just noticed things. At work, he could tell a driver was about to quit before the driver knew it. Around Lauren, he had gone quiet over the last year. He was not rude, just observant. The night started normal enough. People ordered drinks by the pitcher. My dad asked a server if the menu came in paper form and looked personally betrayed when it did not. Maya was already pink-cheeked from a cider when she hugged Lauren too hard and told her she looked unbelievably stunning for a married woman. I saw Trevor 20 minutes after we arrived. He was standing near the bar with two of Lauren's college friends, wearing a dark jacket and the relaxed smile of a man who knew he belonged somewhere he had not been invited by me. I recognized him from photos. He looked older than the version in Lauren's tag pictures, but not by much. When Lauren saw him, she froze for half a second, then recovered so quickly most people would have missed it. I did not. Trevor crossed the room and hugged her. It was not obscene. It was worse than obscene. It was familiar. His hand settled between her shoulder blades like muscle memory. I waited until he walked away to talk to someone else. I did not know Trevor was coming, I said. Lauren kept her smile pointed toward the room. Maya probably invited him. Do not start. Do not start what? She squeezed my arm hard enough that her nails pressed through my shirt. Not tonight. I looked around. Maya was watching us, then looked down at her drink. Lauren's cousin suddenly became very interested in the pretzels. Derek, from across the table, caught my eye and did not look away. The first toast came from my dad. It was awkward and sweet. He said I had always been dependable, that Lauren brought color into my life, and that marriage was about showing up even when life was boring. People laughed in the right places. Lauren kissed my cheek. Then Maya stood up. I can still see the exact moment before everything cracked. Maya held a half-full glass of cider in one hand and used the other to steady herself on the back of a chair. She was smiling too widely, the way people do when they think they are about to be charming. Okay, my turn, she said. To Edward and Lauren. 5 years of marriage, which is insane because I still remember Lauren swearing she would never marry a man who owned cargo shorts. People laughed. I smiled. I did own cargo shorts. Maya kept going. But seriously, Edward, you are the official husband, and we love you for keeping her grounded. And to Trevor, the backup husband who has somehow survived 3 group chats and still shows up when summoned. The room laughed too fast. That was what I noticed first. Not the joke. The speed of the laughter. It was not confused laughter. It was not nervous laughter from people hearing something inappropriate for the first time. It was comfortable, familiar, relieved laughter. It felt like she had referenced an ongoing inside joke. I laughed once, late, because my body tried to keep me safe by pretending I was in on it. Then Trevor raised his glass from the far end of the table. Lauren's hand landed on my knee under the table. Do not be weird, she whispered through a smile. My mouth went dry. My ears got hot. Under the table, my right hand curled around my napkin until the paper twisted. Maya looked at me and her smile faltered. Oh my goodness, she said, still trying to laugh. I mean, not like that. It is a joke. Trevor leaned back in his chair. Relax, man. It is not that serious. I looked at Lauren. She did not look embarrassed for me. She looked annoyed at me for making embarrassment possible. The laugh told me more than the joke did. After that, every small thing sharpened. Trevor corrected the server when she said a stout in front of Lauren. She will actually want the hazy IPA, he said. Lauren only orders stout when she is pretending to be low maintenance. Lauren blushed. It was not the polite blush of someone uncomfortable. It was the private, pleased blush of being known. I said, you know a lot for ancient history. A couple of people went quiet. Trevor shrugged. History repeats. Lauren's fingers dug into my knee again. Do not embarrass me tonight. I turned my head slightly toward her. That is interesting. I thought we were celebrating both of us. Her smile stayed fixed for the room. Her voice dropped. You are making this ugly. That was the moment all the earlier pieces came back at once. Lauren coming home after midnight and showering before saying hello. Her phone face down on the kitchen island. The deleted calendar event. Maya's brewery story with Lauren's bare hand around a beer glass. The reflection in the window. The way Lauren had borrowed my ring for a photo idea and never posted it. The local jewelry receipt David Chun had told me not to lose. The tiny engraving inside my ring. E&L 5.14 and the small repair mark from resizing. Barely visible unless you knew where to look. Every small thing I forgave came back with a receipt. I excused myself and walked toward the restroom hallway. The brewery was loud outside the private room. Glasses clinked. Somebody laughed near the dartboard, and a server carrying a tray of food moved around me with the careful face of someone who had already sensed tension. I took out my phone and texted David. It happened. Witnesses present. Ring is coming off. He replied faster than I expected. Stay calm. No threats. Names and timeline. Let them talk. A second message came through. You do not need to perform anger for the room. I stood there for a moment, breathing through my nose, staring at the gray bathroom door. I could feel my heartbeat in my throat. I wanted to walk back in and ask Lauren every question I had swallowed for months. I wanted to ask Maya which group chats. I wanted to ask Trevor what exactly he thought he had won. Instead, I opened my notes app and typed names. Maya, Trevor, Marcia present, Derek present, Lauren's cousin heard toast, co-workers at North Table, server likely present, near Trevor beer comment. Then I went back in. Lauren was laughing too loudly at something my mother said. Trevor was standing now, one hand on the back of a chair, talking to Maya. Derek had moved closer to my side of the table, though he pretended to be reading the beer list. I waited until Trevor looked at me. How long have you been the backup? I asked. The people closest to us heard. Maya definitely heard. Derek definitely heard. Lauren stiffened beside me. Trevor smiled like he had been waiting for a chance to be clever. Depends who you ask. I am asking the guy drinking at my anniversary party. The smile held for another second, then thinned. It is a joke, man. So answer like it is funny. Nobody laughed that time. Lauren stood so quickly her chair legs scraped the floor. Okay, she said brightly, clapping once. I think everybody needs more food. The server chose that exact second to approach with another board of crackers and cheese. She saw the room, made the wise decision to set it on the nearest open space, and disappeared. Maya whispered, "Oh my goodness." Marcia appeared at Lauren's shoulder like she had been summoned by the threat of public discomfort. Can we not do this here? I looked at her. Do what here? Her mouth tightened. Marriage is private, Edward. Before I could answer, Lauren lifted her glass. I knew what she was doing immediately. She was reclaiming the room. She was turning the mood sentimental so that if I reacted, I would be the unstable one. It was a good move. I might have admired it if I were watching someone else get played. I want to say something, Lauren said, her voice soft and warm. Edward has always been my safe place. He is patient and steady, and he makes a home feel like a home. 5 years is not always easy, but I am grateful for the man who stands beside me. People looked relieved to have a script again. A few guests raised their glasses halfway. Safe place. That was when I understood what safe meant to her. It meant available. It meant predictable. It meant someone who would hold the life together while she treated it like a backup plan of her own. I stood. Lauren's eyes snapped to mine. For the first time all night, she looked afraid. Edward, she said quietly. I did not raise my voice. I did not call her names. I did not look around to see who was filming or who was pretending not to. I just slid my wedding ring off my finger. It stuck at the knuckle for half a second. My hand shook once, small enough that maybe only I noticed. Then it came free. The inside of my finger felt pale and naked in the cool brewery air. I walked 3 steps down the table and placed the ring in front of Trevor. Metal scraped against wood, creating a tiny sound that somehow cut through the whole room. Trevor's smile disappeared. I said, if you have been auditioning for the role, you can have the prop. My lawyer already has the script. No one moved. Lauren's face drained so quickly I thought she might faint. It was not because of the joke. It was not because of the ring. It was because she understood the word lawyer meant I knew more than I had said. Trevor pulled his hand back from the table like the ring was hot. I did not sign up for legal drama. I almost laughed at that. The backup husband had apparently missed the part where husbands are expected to show up when things become inconvenient. Lauren's voice cracked. You are really doing this here? I looked at her then. No, you did this here. I am just done pretending I do not see it. Marcia stepped closer. Edward, do not. There are better ways to handle this, she said. Probably, I said. But Lauren invited an audience. She got one. Maya had one hand over her mouth. I did not mean it like that. I know, I said. That is the problem. You meant it like normal. Derek stood up without making a production of it. He came around the table and stopped beside me. Are you ready? He asked. Almost. I found our server near the door, looking like she wanted to evaporate. I am sorry about the table, I said. Please put my card on half, plus gratuity. She nodded too quickly. Of course. Lauren followed me toward the entrance of the private room. Edward, wait. I stopped, but I did not turn all the way around. She lowered her voice. It was a joke. Everyone knew it was a joke. I did not. Because you take everything so seriously. That was the old move. Make my hurt a personality flaw. I looked at her. I am not confused. I am caught up. Her expression hardened. The soft wife from the toast vanished. You are going to ruin 5 years over one stupid night. No, I said. You ruined it over months. Tonight just had witnesses. Then I left with Derek. We walked through the main brewery past people who had no idea that my marriage had just ended next to a charcuterie board. Outside, the Portland air was cold and damp. Derek did not ask me if I was okay. He knew the answer was too complicated for the sidewalk. He just said, "My truck is over here." In his passenger seat, I finally let my hands shake. Derek drove me to his apartment first because I did not want to go back to the townhouse while Lauren was still at the brewery. He made coffee even though it was almost 10 at night. We sat at his small kitchen table under a flickering overhead light. "Did you plan that?" he asked. "No," I said. "I prepared for something. I did not know it would be that." He nodded. "For what it is worth, you did not look crazy in there." I stared at my bare finger. I felt crazy for months. "Yeah," Derek said. "That is different." By midnight, my phone was a storm. Lauren called 12 times. Then came texts. "You humiliated me in front of everyone. Answer your phone. Trevor means nothing. You made me look like a monster. We can fix this if you stop punishing me." I did not answer the calls. I texted once. "You invited everyone to watch me be humiliated. I just stopped participating." Then I sent David everything. Photos, timeline, guest names, screenshots with dates, the ring repair receipt, the image from Maya's brewery story I had saved weeks earlier. I added a note explaining that the ring had been placed in front of Trevor at the party, witnessed by multiple people, and that Derek could confirm the exact words exchanged. David responded with a secure upload link and one sentence. "Good. Sleep if you can. Do not engage tonight." I did not sleep much. The next morning, David called. His voice sounded the same as it had in his office. It was practical and almost painfully calm. "The ring matters," he said. "Not emotionally. Factually. I figured. You mentioned she borrowed your ring for a photo that never appeared. I had you preserve the repair receipt for a reason. If there are deleted photos, shared messages, or references to both rings, the engraving and repair mark can help authenticate the timeline. Do you still have access to any shared photo backups?" "Not her phone, but we have a shared cloud album for anniversary stuff. Do not tamper with anything. Send what you can access normally." That afternoon, I found it. It was not the photo Lauren said she was taking for us. It was a thumbnail in our shared album trash, not fully deleted yet because the account kept items for 30 days. It showed 2 rings on a bar napkin, mine and Lauren's, beside 2 half-finished beers. The image was poorly framed, probably taken quickly. The napkin had the logo of the same East Side brewery from Maya's story. The timestamp was a Thursday night Lauren had told me she was at Maya's apartment. When David simply compared metadata, receipt details, and the engraving visible inside my ring, the picture became part of the folder. Later, through legal discovery, Trevor's own texts made the situation clearer. He had saved messages from Lauren because, as David put it, people who think they are being chosen often keep souvenirs. One of Lauren's messages to Trevor said they should do the practice separation again, but with better lighting. Another said Edward would be devastated if he knew Trevor had his ring in his hand. There are sentences that do not just hurt. They rearrange your memory. I thought about that Sunday morning when Lauren had borrowed my ring at the kitchen island. She had kissed my cheek and said to trust her, that it would be cute. I had handed it over without hesitation because she was my wife and I was still mistaking access for intimacy. The ring was not just a symbol. It was the last item in a folder Lauren never knew existed. By Monday, the apologies started branching out. Maya texted first. "Edward, I am sorry. I thought you knew they were talking again before March. I did not know it was still happening after your birthday. Lauren told us you two had an understanding." I read it 3 times. Then I forwarded it to David. Maya sent another one. "I swear I did not know she was lying to you like that. The backup husband thing was supposed to be a stupid joke." I almost replied. I typed out a message asking what version of that she thought was funny, then deleted it. David had told me not every message deserved my fingerprints. Trevor folded faster than a lawn chair in a windstorm. By Tuesday, a mutual acquaintance told Derek that Trevor was complaining about being dragged into marriage drama and claiming Lauren had made things sound more over than they were. He blocked Lauren after she apparently called him crying from her car outside work. The backup husband, It turned out, liked being chosen only when there were no forms to sign, no lawyers to answer, and no mothers asking why their daughters were sobbing in parking lots. Lauren kept calling. Her tone changed by the day, crying first, then apologetic, then angry, then sweet again. One voicemail said, "I never stopped loving you." I was confused. Another said, "You do not get to act perfect when you emotionally abandoned me." Then, "Please come home. I cannot sleep in this house alone." Then, "You are enjoying this. You always wanted a reason to leave." That one almost got me. Not because it was true, but because it knew where to press. I had spent years being proud of not leaving. I thought endurance was proof of love. Lauren knew that. She had built half her defense on it. I replied one more time. "I believed you because I wanted to be married to the person you pretended to be." All communication goes through David now. Marcia called me that evening. I let it go to voicemail first. Then she called again. I answered because ignoring her would only stretch it out. "Edward," she said, in the careful tone she used when speaking to customer service. "This has gone far enough." "Has it?" "Marriage is private. There was no need to make everyone part of this." I stood in Derek's guest room, looking at my duffel bag on the floor. I did not invite Trevor. She sighed. "Lauren made mistakes. I am not excusing that. But there is no need to punish everyone. Think about the families. Think about how this looks." There it was. Not what happened. How it looked. "I am not punishing everyone," I said. "I am telling the truth about one person. There are better ways to handle this." "You said that at the party. You said it after the joke, not before." She went quiet. I continued. "You were worried about a scene once I stopped smiling. You were not worried when I was the punchline." Her voice cooled. "I hope you do not regret being cruel." "I was calm for 5 years," I said. "It did not make anyone kinder." I hung up with my thumb shaking over the screen. The divorce filing was not cinematic. There was no rain against the window, no dramatic soundtrack, and no moment where I looked out over the city and felt reborn. It was a conference room, a paper coffee cup, David Chun explaining each page, and me signing my name until my hand cramped. David slid the final document into a folder. "You stayed calmer than most people would," he said. I rubbed the pale band of skin where my ring used to be. I was calm for the wrong reasons before. This time it was for me. He nodded like that was a legally acceptable answer, which I appreciated. Lauren did not contest as hard as she threatened to. The evidence was embarrassing, and embarrassment was the one thing she cared about protecting. Once Trevor's saved messages became part of the conversation, her position shifted from denial to minimizing damage. She told people we had grown apart. Maya's apology text made that difficult. So did half the anniversary party witnessing her ex being called her backup husband while I sat beside her. Not everyone took my side. Some people avoided me. A few of Lauren's friends unfollowed me like I had committed the greater crime by refusing to keep their inside joke comfortable. One cousin sent me a message saying public humiliation was never okay. I wrote back saying I agreed, and left it there. My parents were angry in the quiet way that made me feel 12 years old. My mother cried when I told her about the ring photo. My father offered to drive to Lauren's office, which was both sweet and a terrible idea. Derek remained Derek. He helped me move, lifted boxes without commentary, and labeled one kitchen box regarding emotional impact, because apparently even quiet friends have limits. I moved into a small apartment near work with beige carpet, a refrigerator that hummed like a vending machine, and a view of the parking lot. My first furniture was a mattress, a cheap folding table, 2 camping chairs, and a coffee maker Derek claimed he did not need anymore. For the first week, I ate a lot of frozen burritos and stood in the kitchen because I kept forgetting I did not have a couch. The silence felt different when nobody was using it against me. I still put my phone face up out of habit. For years, that had been my unconscious proof. It was my way of showing there was nothing hidden. Now it was just a phone on a table. 1 month after the party, Derek sent me a photo someone had posted before everything went bad. It showed the long wooden table, the chalkboard sign, Lauren laughing with her head tilted back, Maya mid-gesture, Trevor visible near the edge of the frame, and me sitting beside my wife with one hand around a water glass. It was taken seconds before Maya's toast. I printed it and put it in a cheap frame. I did not do it because I missed that night, and not because I wanted to remember Lauren that way. I kept it because it captured the exact second before I stopped helping everyone lie to me. The ring was supposed to prove I belonged to a marriage. Taking it off was the first honest thing I had done for myself in months. If you liked it, don't forget to leave a comment and support the channel by subscribing. See you in the upcoming stories.